Hi, Tony back with you. On today's job we're going to show you quickly and briefly just how to hook a generator into an existing house in an area that suffers from power supply loss. So this is the job, and normally I prefer to install solar panels and a battery backup system and everything, but the client here is not quite ready for that yet, so they went out and bought this generator. It's a 5,500 watt generator. It runs on petrol, it's fairly quiet, and it's exhaust to the outside. You have on the right you have a yellow plug for the 115 volts, 115, and on the left you have a blue plug there which will do us 32 amps at 230 volts. That's what we're looking for, and these generators are fairly stabilized, so they're good with electronics and things like that. Of course, SPD wouldn't go amiss either. Moving up above here, we're going to have a transfer switch in. We've put the tails through already, double insulated, and we have a transfer switch there which allows us to switch from generator over to mains. So just quickly a brief look at that. It's a really strange setup, this particular transfer switch. It's basically two double pole switches. One of them is upside down and they're barred together. So when you flip them down, you literally separate one pole from the other pole there, and it crosses over. So it will give you your generator, or it will give you your mains in, but it will kill both the phase and the neutral in the event of switching it over to generator. So no feedback goes down the mains into the DNO network. And I'll take you outside and show you quickly the meter and the arrangement there. There's more SPDs and there's an RCBO to go in here. As you can see, it's a bigger box. So on this large farm property here, without showing the people's house to you, I'm going to just show you the garage where we were, and what literally backs onto this wall here is the ESB's meter, smart meter, and there's an isolator in there. You have to fuse it because the fuse board's obviously about 10 meters away, so you have to put a fuse on, and that's a regulation before you go off. Now all of this is going to come out, and our tails are basically going to go from our grid, and then the return is going to be our load through the fuse back over into the house like that. But most importantly, and all I really wanted to talk about on this, is the earth rod. I know it's not in yet, but I've got to find out actually where the DNO cable is going, and then this earth rod is going to be put in. 16mm earth run over to it, and this is mandatory because when you disconnect the DNO's supply system, you are disconnecting their neutral and you're disconnecting your earth path for your RCDs, RCBOs to work. So in this case here, we must bond the generator, and the generator must bond the earth of the generator to the neutral of the generator to complete our path. Exactly the same as the gateway works with the solar system. So that's the job there. It's quite simple, and it's mandatory to supply an appropriate earth when you're going off grid. So the finished job now, we have our blue commando socket plug to go into the socket on the generator. We have our isolator, and we have our labeling, and there's a caution to allow the generator to warm up before switching the transfer switch or turning on the isolator.